Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today marks a special anniversary for this channel. Today's video is our 1000th Commander video. And to celebrate, we will have a deep dive into a deck I've been trying to make work for a while, a Dragon Spellslinger deck. The Commander, everyone's least favorite dragon, Miirym Sentinel Worm. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Miirym Sentinel Worm is a 6-mana 6/6 legendary dragon spirit with flying and ward 2. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under our control, we create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Okay, so the whole point of this deck is to cast Dragonstorm, a 9-mana sorcery that says to search our library for a dragon permanent card and put it onto the battlefield. Oh, it also has Storm. So, if this is the second spell cast during a turn, we search for 2 dragons. If it's the third, we search for 3 dragons. If it's the 5th, you get the picture. We are a dragon deck, but we are also a combo Spellslinger deck. Oh, and we have a couple of backup options to win the game with some of my favorite Spellslinger tactics. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, T-Fury. Every day, T-Fury has new designs that are fairly cheap, but that's because they're print to order. So I've gotten into the habit of checking every day to see if they have new designs for myself or friends and family. I've ordered scores of shirts from them over the last decade, and I'm happy to finally be sponsored by them. Click the link down below to see new designs and to add to your geek wardrobe. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Starting off our land base with Command Tower and Exotic Orchard, 2 lands that can go in just about any multicolored commander deck. For fetch lands, we're running Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Polluted Delta, and Bloodstained Mire. Quick reminder, but fetch lands don't have a color identity in Commander. For fetchable lands, we've got Ketria Triome, Breeding Pool, Steam Vents, Stomping Ground, Hedge Maze, Thundering Falls, Commercial District, Turbulent Wilderness, Turbulent Springs, Sheltered Thicket, Sodden Verdure, Scorched Geyser, and Cinderglade. Next up, we've got Rejuvenating Springs, Training Center, Spire Garden, Dreamroot Cascade, Storm-Carved Coast, and Rockfall Vale, all serving as dual-colored lands. Finally, for basics, we've got 5 forests, 3 islands, and 2 mountains. I was thinking about adding more basics, but we're a bracket 3 deck, and most of our land ramp can find typed lands, so I stuck with those instead. For thematic ramp, we've got Ganex Astral Hunter, as well as Stormkiln Artist. We've also got a ritual package in Seething Song, Blazing Fire Singer, Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, and Mana Geyser. For mana rocks, we've got Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Primal Amulet, though Primal Amulet works more as a cost reducer. Finally, for land ramp, we're running 3 visits, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Nature's Lore, and Skyshroud Claim. I wanted most of our ramp to be spells that can be copied by our other effects. Our card advantage package consists of Improvisation Capstone, Teamer Ascendancy, Rhystic Study, Worldly Tutor, Jeska's Will, Ancient Silver Dragon, Sarkhan's Triumph, Growth Spiral, Teferi's Ageless Insight, Echo of Eons, Opt, Brainstorm, Big Score, eureka moment, and solve the equation. A good mix of tutors, cantrips, and traditional card draw. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Counterspell, Beast Within, Chaos Warp, Negate, Return to Nature, Abrade, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Naturalize, Deflecting Swat, Swan Song, Narset's Reversal, Commit Memory, Insult Injury, and Lightning Bolt. Lots of ways to remove annoying permanents and spells. Or players, for those who know my Insult Injury and Lightning Bolt combo. Don't worry, I'll explain it. Our board wipes consist of Blasphemous Act, Earthquake, and Clouth's Will. Not a ton, but we should be fine. The core of our deck consists of Dragonstorm, Prismari the Inspiration, Terror of the Peaks, Scourge of Valkus, Irene of the Unwritten, and Twin Flame Tyrant. Supporting our plan, we've also got Thousand Year Storm, Swarm Intelligence, Echo Casting Symposium, Dragon Tempest, Astral Dragon, Displacer Kitten, Ghostly Flicker, Reverberate, and Manamorphose. Wait a minute, Danon, how is Manamorphose going to help us win the game? Don't worry, dear viewer, as I said, this is a deep dive. We'll get into it. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 52 mana sources split between 37 lands and 15 pieces of ramp. A little high, but dragons are expensive. 15 pieces of card advantage. 14 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 3 pieces of graveyard hate in Return to Nature, Commit Memory, and Echo of Eons. Several Sudden A win cards, which I will discuss. Okay, so Thousand Year Storm has lots of ways to win the game, but my 2 favorites involve Manamorphose and Narset's Reversal, or Lightning Bolt and Insult Injury. For Lightning Bolt to win the game, we need to double all damage at least 4 times, and we need to ensure we have at least 3 copies of Lightning Bolt, but we wind up with 5. Okay, let me give you the setup. Thousand Year Storm is an enchantment that copies instant and sorceries for each instant and sorcery we've cast this turn. So if we cast a Seething Song first, then solve the equation, we get a copy of it, allowing us to search for 2 cards. We search for Insult Injury and Lightning Bolt. We then cast any other instant, Opt, Beast Within, whatever, it doesn't matter what the other spell is. We then cast Insult, which doubles all damage. But it's the 4th spell we've cast, so all damage is doubled 4 times, or 2 to the 4th, or 16. Which means Lightning Bolt will now deal 48 damage. And the damage is unpreventable. And we have 5 copies on the stack. That should be enough to win the game. But this is the kind of deck that doesn't rely on a single combo. I mentioned Manamorphose and Narset's Reversal also working with Thousand Year Storm earlier. Basically, we cast Manamorphose, and then, while holding priority, we cast Narset's Reversal, targeting the Manamorphose. This allows us to create a loop of Manamorphose copies while returning both Narset's Reversal and Manamorphose to our hand. We draw a ton of cards, make a ton of mana, and then win the game. Because when you have all the cards and all the mana, you win. But seriously, with this combo you gotta watch out. You can easily deck yourself, so be careful. Displacer Kitten, combined with Blazing Firesinger, makes infinite mana. Assuming Blazing Firesinger is prepared, we cast Seething Song, which triggers Displacer Kitten. We then flicker Blazing Firesinger, which prepares it again. This loop nets us 2 red mana every time we activate it. It also makes an infinite storm count, so when we cast Dragonstorm, we can get every single dragon from our deck. The hard part about a Spellslinger deck that a lot of new players struggle with is that there is no set strategy. At least, not the way I build Spellslinger decks. I like having options in my deck. I like creating value. I like having Thousand Year Storm on board, casting Opt and then casting Abrade, then casting 3 visits. Yes, that is 3 forests I just put onto the battlefield. How lovely for me. The key mindset behind a deck like this is to run as many good cards as possible so that you can be flexible. There are lots of ways we can win the game out of nowhere, and some of them don't involve dragons at all. But if necessary, we can just make a bunch of dragons and swing out with them. After all, we've got 3 cards that deal damage whenever a dragon enters the battlefield, so we might as well take advantage, right? Do you have a Spellslinger deck? What about a dragon deck? What's your secret deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Robert, Pi, Kazaris, Patrick, Oscar, Justin, Sleech, Luke, Mr. Salty, Daniel Zombie, Brian, and Nenra, Waka, and Lon. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.